Hello and welcome back to another football commentaries live stream. You are joining us on this weekend's Saturday Night Football as Burnley welcome travelling Manchester United as both sides are in need of 3 points tonight. On Monday, Burnley picked up their first point of the season away at Nottingham Forest after leading in the first half. They were pegged back in the second half, but they did also have a goal disallowed late on, which stopped them from getting their first win of the season. For the Red Devils, on the opposite side, they returned from European action after an entertaining 7-goal thriller where they fell short to Bayern Munich, losing by 4-3. With United currently sitting 13th in the table, a win tonight would bump them all the way up to 8th, even though teams above them would have a game in hand on Manchester United. So, for the 136th meeting between Burnley and Manchester United, will Company's men gain only a third Premier League win over Manchester United, or can Ten Hag get his side to win at Burnley for the first time since January 2021? As obviously, in that time, we have had Burnley in the Championship since United's last win here, but the last meeting at Turf Moor between these two sides in the 2021-2022 season, it did end 1-1 in early February. Pogba gave Manchester United the lead, and then Jay Rodriguez straight after half-time levelled it at 1-1, and that's how it ended at Turf Moor back in the last meeting. But times have changed from there. United and Burnley have changed quite a lot, you could say, especially Burnley. That was that draw against Manchester United was under Sean Dyche. He is now at Everton, and they've now got Vincent Kompany. So it'll be intriguing to see how this game goes, how the pattern is in this game, because it's quite desperate measures for both, really. Even Manchester United, I know that they've currently already got 2 wins, but with those 2 wins, they've also been beaten 3 times, and the one win they've got against Wolves at home was not very convincing, 3 points. Against Nottingham Forest, when they won 3-2, they were 2-0 down in 4 minutes. And then their 3 losses, they've been quite badly beaten by Tottenham away, Arsenal away, and also Brighton at home in their last league game. From that last league game, 8 survive who are starting. Onana, Dalot, Lindelof, Reguilon, Casemiro, Fernandes, Højlund and Rashford survive. Martinez is not in the squad tonight, we're presuming with an injury. No Maguire as well, also he's out injured, hence why you might see a certain Johnny Evans in the starting 11 tonight for Manchester United. But we'll go through the lineups now in a little bit more detail, with both sides in the tunnel waiting to appear onto the field of Turf Moor, which holds just under 22,000 supporters. It's the 4th smallest stadium in the Premier League, just in front of Luton, Bournemouth and Brentford, who have got the 3 smallest stadiums. But we'll go through both sides now. We'll start with Burnley, who currently sit in 19th with 1 point, 4 games played so far. And they go nearly unchanged from their starting 11 against Nottingham Forest. Unfortunately for them, they had Foster red card in the 94th minute, so he's the only one who comes out. So they're going to go with James Trafford in goal, signed for £19 million from Manchester City in the summer. Back 4 of Welshman Connor Roberts, 2 centre-backs of Amin Al-Dakil and Jordan Bayer, who did spend a year on loan here last season, but now made his move permanent from Borussia Mönchengladbach for £13 million, and at left back is former Leeds man Charlie Taylor. The 2 holding midfielders is going to be Josh Cullen and Josh Brownhill, who started majority of the Championship games last season. A 3 behind the striker on the right is going to be Johan Berg Gudmundsson, who was signed in July of 2016 from Charlton for £2.5 million. He's now making his 3rd start in a row in the Premier League. On the left is going to be Luca Coglioscio, the Italian, who was born in America. He has a Nigerian dad. His mum is Italian and Canadian. He has a lot of choices to choose from to what country he plays for, but he's currently representing Italy, and he made his under-20s debut for Italy in the last international break. And behind the striker is going to be Aaron Ramsey, who was signed in the summer for £14 million from Aston Villa. This is his first start for the club in the Premier League. He did start in the EFL Cup win against Nottingham Forest a few weeks ago. And up front is going to be Zeki Amdouni, who did score his first goal of the season in the Premier League against Nottingham Forest, and he also scored their only goal in their League Cup victory against them a few weeks ago. So he's got 2 goals so far this season in all competitions, both of them away at Nottingham Forest. So he leads the line up front for the suspended Foster, who was sent off in their last game away at Nottingham Forest. Their bench is going to be Arianet Muric, Hannes Dikwa, Sander Berger, Jack Cork, Manuel Benson, Jacob Bruin Larson, Mike Tresser, Anas Zarori, and Jay Rodriguez as well on the bench. The 34-year-old experienced striker, very experienced in the Premier League, Jay Rodriguez, 238 appearances in the Premier League, 44 goals, 11 of them for Burnley. So he might be a decent option to have and to put up front. If they need a goal for Manchester United, that is only a couple of changes from Bayern Munich, but Onana keeps his spot in goal. Back 4, that is nearly the same as Bayern Munich, with Dalot keeping his spot at right back, with Victor Lindelof and Reguilon also staying in the team, but bit of the shock appearance tonight for Johnny Evans, making his 200th appearance for Manchester United. He starts from the start, replacing Lisandro Martinez, who's out of the team through injury. Varane is just on the bench, returning back from injury, so he's not ready to start. So it means Johnny Evans, the 35-year-old, will start for Manchester United. The holding midfield is going to be Casemiro, with 3 midfielders just ahead of him in a diamond. It's going to be Hannibal Mejbri to make his second ever start in the Premier League. It's his first start this season, with Scott McTominay also making his only second start, but it's back-to-back starts for him in the Premier League after he came off the bench against Bayern Munich. In the front of, at the top of that diamond is going to be captain Bruno Fernandes, who scored an assist against Nottingham Forest and also picked up an assist against Bayern Munich for the second Casemiro goal. And the 2 up front is going to be Marcus Rashford, only the 1 goal so far this season that came away at Arsenal, and Rasmus Højlund, who scored his first goal in Manchester United colours in midweek against Bayern Munich. He is making his 3rd start in a row for his new club. Rasmus Højlund, he came off the bench against Arsenal, played 65 minutes against Brighton, then played 80 minutes against Bayern Munich, and now he's going to start once again. There's been some company in Erik ten Hag embrace on the touchline, as this is an important game for both sides. United currently 6 points out of a possible 15 to start the season, 2 wins and 3 losses. Burnley have played a game less due to their game against Luton in game week 2 was postponed due to Luton Stadium not being prepared and ready yet. So they've only played 4 times, but they've lost 3 and drew once, and their 3 losses all came at home. Started it off with Manchester City on the opening game of the season, then lost to Aston Villa and Spurs as well. So both teams desperately need wins. Only one team can win. We could have a share of the points, but I don't think that'd do either team much great favour. I think Burnley would be the team that would take the draw, but Burnley will see this as a big opportunity to try and have a big scalp on their return to the Premier League. For Burnley, they haven't won a Premier League game in their last 9. Their last win in the Premier League, if you go back to the last season they were in, it was 9 games ago, away at Watford. They were 1-0 down in the 8th minute, but they got back and won 2-1 with 2 late goals. Jack Cork in the 83rd minute and Brownhill in the 86th minute. That came 511 days ago, so they have not tasted Premier League victory for a long time, Burnley. But they've got a great opportunity against a weak Manchester United team. As Burnley will kick off, kicking left to right. United, right to left, who will come out on top at Turf Moor on this Saturday night in late September. It's Burnley to kick off, then up the field. It's cleared away by Casemiro towards the halfway line, picked up by Cullen. It's now back in the Burnley defence with Jordan Bayer. And it's now with Al Dakil, the other centre-back, who goes back towards the edge of his own box to James Trafford, the goalkeeper. He goes short to Bayer, back to Trafford, being pressed by Højlund. Shifts it to Al Dakil. Back into the 18-yard box now to James Trafford, formerly of the blue side of Manchester. James Trafford, who was a big help to England's under-21s in their European Championship victory, saving that penalty in their very last minute against Spain. As United have won it deep inside the Burnley half, Hannibal feeds Rashford to his left, in the box, towards the byline, tries to get the ball across, and it doesn't take a nick, it goes straight through for a goal kick. Burnley giving it away way too easily there with Connor Roberts, and they were nearly punished. Hannibal, making his second ever Premier League start for Manchester United, fed it through to Rashford, who'd entered the left side of the box, and he was on a tight angle once he tried to get the ball across, and he instead hit the side netting. And Burnley, with a very early warning sign, do survive. As it is Amin Al-Dakil at the back for Burnley here, the number 28, joined in January for £3.5 million from the Belgian League. He's currently played every single minute so far in the Premier League, the young centre-half, 21 years of age. There's Trafford on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lays it off into Bayer. And across to Al-Dakil. Represents Belgium. Al-Dakil was born in Iraq and moved to Belgium at the age of 5 as a refugee during the Iraq War. And now he represents Belgium. Made 2 appearances for them in June of this year. Trafford has it in the 6-yard box. Switches out to the right to Connor Roberts. Chests it down midway inside his own half. He's going to go inside to Aaron Ramsey. Collects it in the centre circle. Shifting it, trying to shift it beyond Casemiro, but he intercepts and it drops to Scott McTominay. And it's now back with Johnny Evans in the Manchester United half. Out to left back Sergio Reguilon on loan for the season from Tottenham Hotspur. The Spaniard impressed in his first 2 games for Manchester United. Despite them losing both of them, he has not been one of the bad performers. He's definitely put the effort in. It's Onana for Manchester United in the 18-yard box. Obviously was at fault for Bayern Munich's first on Wednesday night. As he tries to take it towards the left-back Reguilon, but it's cut out by Connor Roberts midway inside the United half. It's now Goodmanson. He has to go back into his own half with Al-Dakil. Then he turns it back forward to Goodmanson. On the far right-hand side for Burnley. Down the line it goes. It'll find Aaron Ramsey, who's just shoved by Lindelof, but he gets beyond the Swedish international, then tries the cross, which deflects off Victor Lindelof, and it's collected at the near post by Andre Onana. And United are back in possession. And it's with the Northern Irish international Johnny Evans making his 2nd appearance of the season. His other one came as a substitute appearance against Arsenal away. And now he starts at Burnley, making his 200th appearance for Manchester United. Johnny Evans, who's previously at the club for 11 years, from 2004 to 2015. And now he returns in 2023 as a 35-year-old. Onana taking it out of his box and playing it across to his right to Lindelof, who will be playing on the right side of the 2 centre-backs. And he goes across to his partner, Johnny Evans. He goes back into his 18-yard box again with Andre Onana. First ever time he's facing Burnley. The Cameroon goalkeeper who will send the ball long, looking up towards Højlund deep in the Burnley half. It's a header won by Bayer, and it has to be helped away by Al-Dakil on the edge of the Burnley box, and it's collected by Ramsey, goes into his own box with a pass back to Roberts, and an out wide right to Ramsey, who clears down the right channel, but it's blocked by Scott McTominay, and there'll be a throw in deep inside their own half here for Burnley, and it'll be Welsh international Connor Roberts to take, making his 30th Premier League appearance. Connor Roberts scoring the 1 goal against Southampton in a 2-0 win back in April of 2022. Connor Roberts to throw long towards the halfway line. It's a header won by Casemiro, and it'll be brought down by Højlund. Højlund trying to get on the Rashford ball over the top, but it's well dealt with by Al-Dakil. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Towards the final third, Reguilon from left-back will get forward as United are in their full white away strip. Reguilon gets the return from Rashford. Forward to Hannibal. Flick into the box. No one's made a run towards Hannibal's ball, but it doesn't matter because Hannibal was offside. So it'll be a free kick for Burnley, which is taken quickly to Trafford. Ball forward. Cut out by Reguilon, but it'll drop to Cullen on the far right for Burnley. Lifted ball forward looking for Amdouni. And here he has it on the ball on the right-hand side, getting away from Casemiro, but tackled by McTominay. And it's now with Reguilon at left-back, bursting forward towards the Burnley half. Cuts back and tries to go back towards McTominay, cut out by Goodmanson. It will drop to Roberts. Inside it goes to Brownhill, forward into Koleosho, who's out here on the far left-hand side. Lays off into Taylor. It goes back towards the halfway line to Bayer. And then back once more to Trafford, who's quite far forward, out of his box here, James Trafford. As it's Al-Dakil on the ball, the Belgian centre-half. Out to the right it goes to Goodmanson, the Icelandic international, on the halfway line. He wants to try and go forward, but instead he has to go back to Al-Dakil, as he's being pressed by Sergio Reguilon. This is the 17th meeting between the two sides in the Premier League. 2 Burnley wins, 9 for Manchester United, and we've had the 5 draws. Burnley's first ever Premier League game in August of 2009 was at home to Manchester United, and they came out 1-0 winners. And then their second victory against United in the Premier League was away at Old Trafford in January of 2020. So they don't win often against the Red Devils, Burnley, as they still have possession midway inside their own half with Trafford. Everything is ahead of him for the Burnley number 1, who still has the ball. He's been closed down by Højlund, sends it to the right centre-back, Alderkiel. He will drive forward with the ball and then play a forward pass towards Roberts, who is tackled by Casemiro. Ball drops to Hannibal, out wide left now to Rashford. Edge of the box. He enters the box, plays it through to Fernandes. He shoots across goal. Good save by Trafford. It's parried into the box where Koleosho has to try and deal with it, but he loses out to Dalot. And United have possession back again. It's now Evans in the centre circle. Wants to try and play forward, but goes across to the right to Lindelof. He's got Dalot high and up the field from right back. Decides against using the Portuguese international, and will go across again back to Johnny Evans on halfway. Back to Lindelof. They want to play forward, but they keep going sideways here, United. It's Evans again. He's being forced backwards now by the press of Amdouni from Burnley as they press in a 4-4-2. Vincent Kompany's men. As Burnley manager, Vincent Kompany's taking charge of his 60th game for the club. 35 wins, 16 draws and 8 losses in his previous 59. Obviously with that came the Championship title last year, where Burnley finished top of the league. 101 points, 29 victories and the 14 draws, only 3 losses as well. 6th highest ever points made in the Championship, if you contribute goal difference to that. So we're just under 8 minutes in, no real big chances. We'd have a half chance there for Bruno Fernandes, who shot at goal. It was well saved by Trafford. United still have possession inside their own half. It's with Victor Lindelof. 2 Casemiro's come out to a right-back area. Just lays it off into Onana in the 18-yard box, who was actually banned for 9 months in February of 2021 for drug use. And he returned for Ajax before making his move to Inter Milan as he sends the ball forward up towards Højlund. It's a header won by Jordan Bayer, the Burnley centre-half, and he heads it behind him back to his own goalkeeper, James Trafford, who's able to play the ball into Alderkiel on the edge of the 18-yard box for Burnley. The number 28. Did meet last season, despite being in 2 different divisions, these two, in the League Cup round of 16. 2-0 to Manchester United, ended at Old Trafford. First goal came from Christian Eriksen in the first half, and then Rashford put it as 2-0 in the second, as they went on to beat Charlton, Nottingham Forest and Newcastle to win the League Cup last season. Manchester United was put down as quite a successful year last year. Top 4, trophy, decent first year for Erik ten Hag. Bit more pressure onto him now, as they've had a poor start to the league season. Charlie Taylor for Burnley. Switch out to Robertson on the right-hand side. He enters the United half and plays it forward into Goodmanson. He lacks to get onto his left foot, but he feeds it through towards the byline to Roberts, who keeps it in the full-back, gets it across. Header! Saved by Onana. Amdouni met the cross from Connor Roberts, and it was expertly saved by Onana. It actually flicked off the head of Evans, which put it on a plate for Amdouni. He headed it into the floor, which you're told to do. Head it into the ground, and it bounced up off the turf, and it was a really good save for Onana to parry it behind for a corner, which has been taken short. It's now to the edge of the box to Ramsey. Back out to the left to Brownhill. Down the line it goes to Goodmanson. Trying to work across, but he's been blocked and he's been tackled by Fernandes. Back out to the left it goes to Goodmanson. Touch away from Fernandes. Now with Ramsey. Forward it goes to Taylor from left back towards the byline. Crosses it low. Misplaced touch by Casemiro. Drops to Brownhill. Back out it goes to Taylor. He wants to cross. He'll chop though. And outside of the boot ball, which is deflected to Hannibal on the edge of the box, who's caught out in possession by Ramsey. Brownhill pulled back, blocked by Casemiro. And the flag's gone up. Free kick for Manchester United. Hannibal caught out there on the edge of his box, and it nearly led to a goal, but it dropped to a man who was offside. 1 chance apiece. 10 minutes in. Fernandes for Manchester United and Amdouni for Burnley. He's trying to score in back-to-back games for Burnley. Amdouni, who scored on Monday night in the 1-1 draw away at Forest, was bought this summer for €18 million from Basel. Zeki Amdouni got 12 league goals for Basel last year. And he got 7 goals in 11 Conference League appearances, where Basel got to the semi-finals. United have got the ball forward, midway inside the Burnley half to Højlund, back to Rashford, forward to Hannibal on the right side of the box. Doesn't shoot, he backheels it to Højlund instead. Tries to shoot, its touch is too heavy and it goes away from him. And it can be cleared by Burnley by Connor Roberts. It's a switch towards the Burnley left where it's hit too heavy. And it'll drop for a Dalot throw in for Manchester United just outside the Burnley technical area. Hannibal lacks the flexing tricks. He's tried a few back heels so far. That one came off really well and he found Højlund, who was unfortunately tackled on the edge of the 6-yard box by Charlie Taylor. And Burnley were then allowed to clear. Scott McTominay with a switch out to Dalot on the right-hand side. Brings it down beautifully and plays it back into his own half with Victor Lindelof as United keep possession. And they play it out to Johnny Evans at the left centre half. Midway inside his own half. Left-footed ball lifted in behind over the top. Looking for Marcus Rashford. Runs out of pitch though. Ball drops out of play. Burnley throwing. Hannibal comes in from Manchester United, the number 46. Got a contract until the end of this season, but an option of an extra year. Making only his 5th appearance for Manchester United. All 5 of them have come in the Premier League. Making only his 2nd start. Started his first Premier League game in May of 2022 against Crystal Palace under Ralph Ragnick. Charlie Taylor clears it forward for Burnley up towards Koleosho, who shields it away from Dalot and plays it nicely for Brownhill, who gets it inside to Cullen, midway inside his own half. Gets it out to the right to Connor Roberts. Ball back inside to Cullen in the centre circle, just on halfway. Switches it out to the left-hand side to Koleosho. Does he fancy taking on Dalot, trying to go around the outside of him, and he touches it beyond the Portuguese right back, and he slides him down. It'll be a yellow card for Diogo Dalot. That will give confidence to Koleosho. The number 30, who got the assist on Monday at Forest. Dalot got absolutely none of the ball there. Took him out quite cynically. The former Porto fullback. It's a free kick for Burnley on the left-hand side. Brownhill's there, he runs over it, and Goodmanson puts a low one in, which is headed away at the near post by Rashford. Out to the right-hand side, though, for Burnley, and it'll be retrieved by Roberts. Cross into the 12-yard spot, where it's cleared by United. Then it falls to the edge of the box to Brownhill, who takes a touch and he shoots off balance. And it'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. Shot goes way over the crossbar there from Josh Brownhill. Onana now dribbling outside these 18-yard box as United have took the goal kick short. They play it to his left to Johnny Evans, who will calmly bring the ball forward, and then he looks to pass it across to the right, and he'll go to Lindelof, who's just towards the edge of his 18-yard box. He's forced back to Onana. High ball up the field into the Burnley half towards Højlund, headed won by Alderkiel. Looks for Scott McTominay on halfway. He's battling McCullen, he pushes him over, and it'll be a free kick for Burnley. A little bit too physical there from Scott McTominay. Back-to-back starts for him in the Premier League. Did score against Burnley a couple seasons ago in a 3-1 home win in December of 2021. And Scott McTominay is also closing in on 150 Premier League appearances. This is appearance 148 for him in England's top flight division. As Burnley have got it midway inside their own half with Bayer. Across to his centre-back partner, Alderkiel. He'll bring it forward towards halfway. He's got options ahead of him. And he plays it forward into Aaron Ramsey, who's just drifted out to the right-hand side here. He's going to try and link up with Goodmanson. Instead, nutmeg Scott McTominay. Great skill from Aaron Ramsey. And Amdouni is then took out from behind by Scott McTominay. It's another free kick for Burnley. They're winning these free kicks well from referee Tony Harrington, who officiated in the Premier League as a referee for the first time in December of 2021. And he's give a foul against Scott McTominay again. Fouling Amdouni. So as they had a free kick moments ago on the left, they've now got one on the right-hand side here, Burnley. Goodmanson's over it. He fakes it this time, and Brownhill puts it in. It's a one towards the near post, comes off the thigh of Højlund. It's cleared away by Reguilon, headed on by Højlund, who is pushed over to the ground by Roberts. Nothing given by the referee as play continues here for Burnley. on the left-hand side with Cullen, who drives forward, midway inside the United half, wanting to find a pass, and he does find a pass to Aaron Ramsey. Forward, Amdouni! Off the post and cleared by Reguilon. And it's a corner kick for Burnley. First big chance of the game goes to the claret and blue side. As a great ball by Cullen found Aaron Ramsey in between the lines, and a pass through to Amdouni, and he was onside. Left foot off the post and cleared. As Aaron Ramsey's got it here on the edge of the box. It's now with Roberts, 40 yards away from goal. Works out to the left to Cullen. Forward to Charlie Taylor. Forward from left back. Back into Cullen, who has to go back to the halfway line for Burnley to keep possession with Alderkeel. Out back to the right-hand side to Roberts. Lays it off into Goodmanson. Back into his own half through Alderkeel. Big chance there for Amdouni. He's had two now. One off the post and one saved by Onana. Ball over the top by Bayer. Looking for Taylor, the left back, who's got forward, but he can't avoid the ball going out for a goal kick. And it will be a goal kick for Manchester United. What a chance. Great ball forward by Cullen to find Aaron Ramsey. And on the edge of the 18-yard box, he slips it through to Amdouni, who shot across goal. And with his left foot, he hit the post. And another chance goes begging for Vincent Kompany. McTominay on the left for United. Back towards his own goalkeeper, Onana. Out to his right back, Diogo Dalot. 10 yards away from the halfway line. He goes inside to Casemiro, who's to his left. And they're coming towards this near side now with a pass across to Johnny Evans, who goes to his centre-back partner, Lindelof. Back into Evans again. All in the Manchester United half currently. The football and the passing play. Casemiro has it in a right-back area. Big ball forward over the top towards Bruno Fernandes. Overhits and calmly into the hands of James Trafford, who rolls it out quickly to Charlie Taylor. Goes to the edge of the box here to Jordan Bayer, the German centre-half. Signed a contract now at the club till 2027 after ending his 8-year stay at Borussia Mönchengladbach. Here he's on the ball, on the edge of his 18-yard box, forward to Cullen. Out to the right to Alderkeel. Lifted ball over Marcus Rashford to Connor Roberts, who's got a lot of room to run into and ahead of him. But he goes inside with a bad ball to Aaron Ramsey. Tough one to control for him. And it's picked up by Casemiro in the centre circle. He then plays a ball lifted out towards Reguilon on the left. Cut out, though, by Alderkeel. And it's now with Goodmanson on halfway. Back it goes by Alderkeel. It's a short ball, though. Roberts left it for Trafford, and Højlund will get onto it. On the left-hand side, right on the corner flag. So he's got some work to do here, the Dane, who's pulled down by Connor Roberts. And it's not been given as a foul. Højlund wanted the free kick, but Tony Harrington, the referee, said no. And Burnley have got it in the right-back area. Forward towards Goodmanson, who's pushed to the ground, and that will be a free kick instead. And Burnley pressure is eased. As United were looking dangerous there through Højlund, who capitalised on the bad pass from Alderkeel towards his goalkeeper. It was left at first by Connor Roberts, as Burnley are being forced into an early change. The man from Iceland, the Iceman, Johan Berg Goodmanson, is being withdrawn 20 minutes in. Must be an injury, because he's not had a bad first 20 minutes at all. He's just been getting into the game. He started the last 3 Premier League games, Goodmanson, and now he's being replaced by number 31, Mike Tressor. Signed on a season-long loan from Genk. Made 24 assists in 42 appearances for Genk last season. He was the top assister in the top 10 European leagues. 24 assists. He is a magician on that ball. He is a creator. Mike Tressor, who is usually a left winger. Goodmanson was on the right, so we'll see if Koleosho moves over, and he will. Koleosho will move over to the right-hand side, as it's Aaron Ramsey here, playing a ball forward, deflects off McTominay, throwing for Burnley, about 15 yards into the Manchester United half. And when I say Aaron Ramsey, I don't mean the Welsh Aaron Ramsey. It's the 20-year-old from Aston Villa. His brother Jacob Ramsey is a starter for Aston Villa at the minute, when he is fit and available. Roberts with the throw. It's a big throw forward. It's cut out by Reguilon. Volleyed into the air, and he'll meet it with his own header towards the halfway line. It's met by Cullen. Nodded down by Brownhill, looking for Koleosho. He loses out to Reguilon. And it's now with the left back on the ball. He's been forced back towards his own goal set, Johnny Evans. He plays a ball into his box now, into the 6-yard box of Onana. Keeps the ball moving to right back Dalot. Moving the ball away from Tressor. and switching it out to the left. Good switch by Dalot to Reguilon. Chests it down nicely. Plays a ball forward on halfway to Rashford. Dribbles 10 yards forward before playing a ball back to Reguilon. Johnny Evans on the halfway line to Lindelof. Dalot's in a bit of space on the right, but he goes against it and goes to his left to Evans. Out to the left to Reguilon, forward to Rashford. And he gets the return, the Spaniard. Back to Rashford, then to Reguilon once again. As United just keeping possession of the football, as they've only had the one clean sheet so far in the league and in all competitions. And they got 17 clean sheets last season, Manchester United, and that was the most of any team. And David De Gea was the one who collected all clean sheets. He got the Golden Glove. Clubless David De Gea, who's still without a team for the new season. As it's to Lindelof in his 18-yard box. Across it goes to Onana. Being pressed here by Amdouni. And he clears it with his left foot towards the United left, where it's cut out by Rashford. Helped on by Ramsey, but he loses out to Evans. Ball into Fernandes, round the corner to Rashford. Midway inside the Burnley half, cut out by Roberts, and it'll fall to Hannibal, who's gone out to the left-hand side here. And here's Rashford again on the left wing. One-on-one here with Aaron Ramsey. Goes the long way around him. He takes it away from him currently. Then plays a ball into McTominay. Shifts it to Casemiro on the edge of the box. Loses out to Cullen. And it will deflect out to Tresor on the left. The new substitute for Burnley. Drifting out to the right-hand side and playing it into the path of Koleosho. He plays a ball inside to Cullen. Switches it out quickly with a sweeping ball out to the left to Taylor. He lets the ball come towards him and Fernandes nips in and takes it away from him. Forward to Hannibal. Enters the Burnley half. He's got Højlund to his right and he'll feed it behind Højlund and it will be collected by Bayer, the Burnley centre-back, who will go into his 6-yard box for pass to Trafford. Thinks out to the right towards Connor Roberts, but it's a header cut out by Reguilon. Forward towards Hannibal, loses out to Cullen. And the ball will eventually drop to Tresor, midway inside his own half here. The substitute, the Belgian international. Made the 2 appearances for his country, Mike Tresor, in June of this year against Austria and Estonia. It's Burnley, the team dominating possession at the minute with 64% of the ball. Alderkiel. Out to Koleosho. One-on-one with Reguilon. He's going to run at him and drive inside. It's pass forward and in behind. He's been cut out by Reguilon, but it drops to Roberts, who gives it away himself to Casemiro. Midway inside his own half. Ball forward into the Burnley half to Hannibal, who again just drifting out to his left-hand side. He's got Casemiro inside, supporting him, and he'll play it towards him. He's got Fernandes ahead of him, Casemiro, and he'll play it to him. Right-hand side of the box. Not an angle for shots, but one for a cross, which he attempts. But it's blocked by Charlie Taylor, and it'll be a corner kick for Manchester United. Just under 24 minutes in, still 0-0 here at Turf Moor. Erik ten Hag there in discussion with one of his assistants, Mitchell van de Gaag. You'll also have Steve McLaren on the bench with him, who's also his other assistant. Corner for the Red Devils. There'll be an in-swinger from left back Sergio Reguilon. It's a left footer into the 6-yard box towards Johnny Evans. And on his 200th appearance for Manchester United, the Northern Irish international scores. It's a story written in the stars for the experienced centre-back who has a fairy tale goal for his return to Manchester United. Burnley concede poorly from the set piece. It was a free header for the number 35 in the 6-yard box. Company, as a former defender himself, will not be happy with the marking situation. Great in-swinger from Reguilon. And it was just an easy jump for Johnny Evans. He got above everyone, nodded it into the bottom left corner, and it bounced into the back of the net. Easy as you like for Johnny Evans. Oh, it's been checked. Højlund, it skimmed past, who was in an offside position, and he was in front of the goalkeeper, Højlund. This could be disallowed. The dream goal for Johnny Evans might be disallowed here. As he headed it towards goal, Højlund was stood in front of James Trafford in an offside position. Tony Harrington, the referee, has been told to go and have a look at it by VAR Simon Hooper. It'll be frustrating for Ten Hag, as Højlund is stood in front of the goalkeeper in an offside position. and it stops James Trafford, does it? It looks like James Trafford actually jumps away from the ball as it's headed towards goal. But as the header is met by Johnny Evans, Højlund is touching and holding James Trafford, even though the young English goalkeeper does jump out of the way. And it will be disallowed for offside. Rasmus Højlund deemed in an offside position as Johnny Evans won his header. It was a disturbance to the goalkeeper, Højlund, as he was holding James Trafford's arm. And unfortunately, on his 200th appearance for the club, Johnny Evans' goal has been disallowed. He got there, he got above Amin Al-Dakhil, the Burnley centre-back, headed it into the back of the net, but unfortunately Højlund was in an offside position. And it remains 0-0 at Turf Moor. Headed forward by Dalot from the Trafford free kick. It's now Hannibal. Gone to right back Dalot on halfway line. He's going to have to go into his centre-back partner here. One of his centre-backs, Lindelof, goes across to Johnny Evans. He's got Reguilon in support, who just assisted his disallowed goal. He goes to Reguilon. Plays down the line to McTominay. Far left-hand side for United. He's pickpocketed by Josh Cullen. And now back in possession for Burnley. Inside their own half with Al-Dakhil. Goes to his left here to Bayer. 23-year-old centre-half. Played 4 years at Germany's under-21 level. Making an appearance for them this year in 2023. Jordan Bayer is still on the ball. To Al-Dakhil. Running towards halfway. Ball goes into the United half. Ball over the top looking for Koleosho. He'll give chase against Reguilon and he'll push the Spaniard in the back. And it'll be a free kick for Manchester United in the left-back area. Shove from Luca Koleosho from behind. Signed from Espanyol for £2.5 million. Luca Koleosho, who's been a little bit too aggressive there. Man who started every single Premier League game so far for Burnley. The 19-year-old left winger playing on the right-hand side after Goodmanson was brought off with an injury in the 20th minute and he was replaced by Mike Tresor, who got the most assists in Europe last season with 24 in all games played. Onana with the free kick. It's a long ball into the Burnley half towards Højlund, who flicks it onto Hannibal. He will give chase, but it will be Bayer to get there first on the 18-yard line. And he'll play back to his goalkeeper, who clears first time into the Burnley half. On the right-hand side, looking for Koleosho. Goes over his and Reguilon's head, and Reguilon fails to clear it. And he runs out of room on the United left, and it'll be a throw-in for Burnley on their right-hand side. Inside the United half as well. Thrown back into their own half, though, to Al-Dakhil. He'll go across to the left to Jordan Bayer. He will dribble past Fernandez and he'll drive forward here, Bayer. He's going to keep driving and play it to the right towards Amdouni, who gets away from Reguilon, but his touch is too heavy and he's tackled by Evans, who gets it forward to Bruno Fernandes. He lets Casemiro take over, who's tackled by Bayer, but the ball drops forward to Højlund. He's running at Al-Dakhil. Will he shoot on the edge of the box? He's trying to work the chance for a shot, but he's been forced back instead by Bayer. And the ball drops to Reguilon in the end. Out wide left to Rashford. Ball forward into the box by Højlund. Back to goal. He's going to try and turn and shoot, which he does, but it's well wide of the goal. Doesn't even hit the side net in there from Højlund. Straight behind for a goal kick. Good pass, though, from Rashford. Getting in between two Burnley men. Getting it forward to Højlund, who tried to spin and shoot. But the pressure from Jordan Bayer was too much for him. And his shot was poor. Now in the Burnley half with Al-Dakhil across to his left to Jordan Bayer. They don't mind having possession with their two centre-backs. Burnley, half an hour in, still 0-0. Had an early chance with Bruno Fernandes. Saved by Trafford as Koleosho gets away from Reguilon. Drives inside, looking towards the left-hand side where he feeds out to Mike Tresor for Burnley. In the final third, 1-on-1 with Dalot. Goes inside to the edge of the box to Aaron Ramsey. Back to Taylor, who gets a cross into the box towards the penalty spot, headed away by Johnny Evans. And it will drop to the left-hand side for Burnley, and it's kept alive by Mike Tresor, who goes back to his centre-back, Bayer. Now Al-Dakhil. Al-Dakhil, midway inside his own half, not being pressured here by Rasmus Højlund. Yeah, we had a Bruno Fernandes chance early on, which was met by a chance for Amdouni for Burnley, which was saved by Onana as Burnley give away possession momentarily, but they win it back through Aaron Ramsey and Josh Cullen. Now forward to Amdouni, passes the halfway line. He's going to look to the Burnley right and he'll curl a ball across to Koleosho. The number 30 for Burnley, charging forward towards the final third. He's going to be met by the pressure of Marcus Rashford. He keeps the ball away from him currently and goes back 10 yards with a pass to Connor Roberts. Ball inside to his left. Finds Charlie Taylor, who's come inside from left back. Now out to Tresor. Getting it into Ramsey. Completes the 1-2. Back to Tresor again. Onto his right foot. Deciding not to cross and goes to Brownhill instead. Then out wide left. Furthest left is Taylor. Everything to his right. He goes behind him to Tresor. Then ball forward to Ramsey. Inside to Brownhill. Back out to Taylor again. Into Brownhill on the edge of the 18-yard box. Through into the box to Ramsey. Chance to shoot. He will shoot. It's blocked. Sent out for a corner. Good play here from Aaron Ramsey. Making his first start in the Premier League for his new side. Three corners to United's one for Burnley. Still leading in the corner taking department. Mike Tresor to take. Off the bench for injured Gudmundsson. On loan from Genk. He plays a short one forward to Brownhill. Gets the return on the angle. Tresor with the cross. It's a wicked one. And the header from Charlie Taylor. I think he's deflected behind by Rasmus Højlund. And it'll be another corner for Burnley. It was a cross with pace. And it was a deflection that was needed for United. As Tresor is over it again. Right-footed. So it'll be an in-swinger. Right arm raised. And the ball is going to be curled into the box towards the near post. Cut out by Bruno Fernandes. And it'll be a throw-in for Burnley. Still towards the final third. So they can still pile pressure here on Manchester United, who had the lead. About 5 minutes ago, Johnny Evans, a header in from a corner. But it was deemed offside as Højlund was in an offside position in front of the goalkeeper. As the header was won by Johnny Evans. So it remains 0-0. It's with Charlie Taylor. Throws it into Tresor. Gets the return. Goes on the inside of Fernandes and plays it behind him and back towards his own goal to halfway line to Jordan Bayer. Keeps it out to the left-hand side, forward to Taylor. Ball over the top towards Aaron Ramsey. It'll run towards the corner flag and it'll go out towards the corner flag. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester United in their defensive third. Big revamp at Burnley. In the transfer window, they've made 15 signings, but also let go of 10 players as well. A lot of their players that they brought in were younger players. They've got a very young squad. McTominay out to the left now to Marcus Rashford. Into the Burnley half towards the final third. He's got Reguilon overlapping, but he'll drive into the box and he will keep it away from Roberts for now. Then find Reguilon, who crosses low off the leg of Koleosho. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Sergio Reguilon, the left back, formerly of Real Madrid. And he throws it into the box towards McTominay. Header won by Brownhill, brought down by Amdouni. Poor pass towards Aaron Ramsey. And it will drop to Fernandes, who shoots 25 yards out, blocked. And it will drop to Reguilon, who swings the ball in towards Casemiro. Header away by Taylor. Ramsey on the edge of the box, pokes away, lifts it only as far as Lindelof, who keeps it alive for Manchester United. Now with Johnny Evans on halfway. Got options ahead of him and to his right. He'll lay off to his right to McTominay. To Dallo, apologies. He's got Casemiro on the far right-hand side, opts against it and goes inside to Evans on halfway. Back out to Dallo. Casemiro's still there, but he goes for a low ball to Hannibal. Midway inside the Burnley half. And out to the left now to Reguilon. Forward to Rashford. Wanting to get into the Burnley final third. But he can't quite run at them yet. So goes inside to his right to McTominay. Right once more to Lindelof. Casemiro still on the far right-hand side there, the Brazilian, but they're still not wanting to use him. Lindelof in the Burnley half. To the left it goes to McTominay. Furthest left now is Rashford. Got everything to his right for Manchester United. Goes inside. 5-yard pass to McTominay. And goes once more to Lindelof, who's one of furthest back for United alongside Johnny Evans. Now Evans on the ball. To Lindelof once again. 4 starts in a row now for him in all competitions. McTominay on halfway, poor touch, but he keeps it moving to Evans. Dalot playing a Casemiro role currently, and it's Casemiro playing the right back role at the minute, as United have been forced all the way back into their 18-yard box for Andre Onana, the 27-year-old goalkeeper. Burnley had a great record at home last season, only losing the one game, and it was near the end of the season's QPR. As a long ball forward towards Højlund has been won by Bayer. Now to Aaron Ramsey, can't get away from the tackle of Casemiro, and he'll drop towards him in the centre circle, and a slide challenge keeps it for him to Rashford. On the left-hand side, running at Roberts, wanting to enter the box, and he can't because he's tackled by the Welshman, and it'll be cleared here by Josh Brownhill. Up the field for Burnley, but it's only nodded down by Evans for Casemiro, so Burnley have to try and defend again. Lindelof, Casemiro, first time ball over the top towards the edge of the box, looking for Højlund, and it'll be Trafford to collect. Good goalkeeping from the 20-year-old, who did spend the last 2 seasons on loan in League One, more predominantly with Bolton, but he also started 2 seasons ago at the start of the season with Accrington Stanley, and then had a year and a half at Bolton on loan, where he got into the League One Team of the Year last season, after Bolton got into the playoffs, but fell short at the semi-final stage of the playoffs against Barnsley. As they build from the back, edge of the box, with Trafford, finds Bayer. To right centre-back, Amin Al-Dakil. Lifted ball up towards Koleosho, header won by Lindelof. It'll drop, though, to Brownhill, midway inside the United half. He's got Amdouni to his right, and he'll feed it to Amdouni. Inside it goes to Koleosho, offers too much of it to Hannibal, but then McTominay loses out for Manchester United, and it falls to Koleosho on the edge of the box. He wants to shoot, he's going to shoot, and he drags it well wide. Didn't quite catch it how he would have wanted it to there, Luca Koleosho. Yet to score so far this season for Burnley, and his 4 appearances for them, all coming in the Premier League. And we'll start with a goal kick now with Johnny Evans. And he'll play it short to Onana. Back towards Evans, asking a lot of him here. Koleosho closing him down, but he moves it onwards to the left back, Reguilon. Ball forward towards halfway to Hannibal. Stopped with a good slide challenge from a Burnley man. It's now Brownhill on the far right hand side. He's got Koleosho ahead of him. Goes inside to Cullen instead. Towards the edge of the box. He keeps it moving to Roberts. Out to the right to Koleosho. He's got Brownhill on the overlap. Drives inside instead. Left-footed low ball looking for Tresor, who drifted from the left-hand side towards the centre of the field, but it's gone beyond him and it's cleared by Manchester United. But it's well won and recycled now for Burnley by Al-Dakil. It's on the edge of their box with Trafford. Out to the left centre-back, Jordan Bayer. Trafford again. Forward to Cullen. Out to the left to Bayer. On the edge of the box, he gives it away to Fernandes. Low ball towards the edge of the box to Hannibal, but it's won by Tresor. Ball forward to Aaron Ramsey, keeping it away from Dalot, turning forward and poking it out to the left to Tresor, and he finds the loanee from Genk on the left-hand side. Looking to drive inside, playing it to Amdouni. On the edge of the box, he lays it back off to Tresor. Now out to the right to Koleosho. He's going to run at Reguilon. Going on the right, then the left, then playing it back to the edge of the box to Brownhill. Out to the right to Roberts. Koleosho, 1-2 with Roberts on the byline. Lifts it into the 6-yard box. It's a volley away with the left foot of Johnny Evans. But it's only as far as Al-Dakil. He plays it forward to Koleosho. Running at McTominay and laying it off to Roberts, who's still forward from right back. In the final third, lifted ball in behind towards Brownhill in the 6-yard box. And it's cleared by Evans off of Brownhill and out for a goal kick for United. Good defending from Evans to kick it off of Brownhill to win a goal kick. Gareth Southgate in attendance tonight next to the Burnley owner, who, as a poor commentator, I should know his name, but I don't know the Burnley owner's name. He's American, though. And he is sat next to Gareth Southgate tonight. Alan Pace, I think, is the name of the owner. As Koleosho drives forward for Burnley. Towards the end of the box, gets away from McTominay and Hannibal, but he's met by the slide challenge of Casemiro. It's a fair one, and United can clear with Hannibal. 1-2 with Bruno Fernandes. It's now back to Hannibal again. Crosses the halfway line and lays it forward into Bruno Fernandes, who will get there ahead of Jordan Bayer, but he won't get there ahead of Al-Dakil, the Burnley centre-back, who will bring it away on the edge of his box and play it into Ramsey, who's being manhandled by Casemiro, and it'll be a free kick for Burnley, midway inside his own half. Yeah, Alan Pace, the American owner for Burnley. Koleosho showing some good feet to get away from Hannibal and McTominay, but he was stopped by Casemiro, the Brazilian 5-time Champions League winner. When he played Burnley last season in the League Cup, he actually played as a centre-back alongside Lindelof when they had a centre-back shortage last season at that point. Burnley play from the back. Alderkirk forward into the United half with Amdouni. He's looking to his left towards Aaron Ramsey. He lifts it over Casemiro to find Aaron Ramsey. Into the 18-yard box. He shoots at Onana, who keeps a hold of it. Took a few tries for Onana there to grab hold of it properly, but he did do so. As Ramsey, about 20 yards out, opened up the body, right-footed shot. Not enough in the corner to cause Onana real problems, even though he did struggle to get the ball collected there. Edge of the box for United with Lindelof. To Dalot, making his 75th appearance in the Premier League. 1 goal. Came last season in April in their away win to Nottingham Forest. Onana. Not being pressed here by Burnley. Just having a breather here as we've got just under 3 minutes left of the first half, plus any added on time. We have had a goal from Johnny Evans, disallowed as Rasmus Højlund was offside as he won the header towards goal, and he was in an offside position in front of the goalkeeper. Onana, still in his own box, having to shift it now because Amdouni's closing him down. He goes to his left to Evans, who's entered the box with him to offer support. Out to the left now to Reguilon, the left back. Clears it forward, comes off Koleosho, and it'll just deflect back into the 18-yard box for Manchester United to start again. From the back in their own box. Not a bad record away last season for Manchester United. Not the best, though. 8 wins and 8 losses with 3 draws. Conceded a lot more than they scored. They scored 22 goals away from home. Manchester United in the 19 games they played in the league, but conceded 33. Johnny Evans on the edge of the box. To the right, centre-back Lindelof, as they can now push forward. And lays it off into Dalot at right back. Inside to Casemiro. First time ball forward towards Højlund. Loses out to Bayer. So now Ramsey shifts it out to Tressor on the far left for Burnley. Keeps away from Højlund on the halfway line now. Goes back into his own half of a pass to Jordan Bayer. And Burnley keep possession. Koleosho, midway inside the United half. Running at Reguilon. Going on the outside, then cutting onto the inside and playing a ball towards... I can't quite make out who that was. That was Brownhill, but he lost out. And it's now forced to Marcus Rashford. He's pulled back by Connor Roberts. And it'll be a free kick on halfway for Manchester United. Pulled back there by Connor Roberts, who's got 50 appearances for his country. Connor Roberts, who started all 3 of Wales' games at the World Cup in Qatar. A halfway line now with Lindelof, formerly and bought from Benfica in 2017 for £30 million. Still has it just inside his own half to everyone in front of him, though. The Swedish international lays it off to Casemiro in the centre circle. On halfway, has to shift it behind him back to Lindelof, who's not pressed, so he has time on the ball. And he still has it here, just inside his own half. Burnley set up resolutely, as it's Dalot. Lifted ball, curling ball, over the top, down the right channel, finds Fernandes. Drags Bayer out of position, and he keeps it moving to Hannibal, inside to Lindelof. Back by Fernandes to Dalot. Into Lindelof, again near the halfway line. United are struggling to get through this. Burnley set up at the back. Evans, lifted ball over the top in the box towards Fernandes, who will take it on the volley! Into the bottom left corner, and the flag stays down. That is just pure class from Bruno Fernandes. Right on the 45th minute, he gives Manchester United the lead. They had it earlier on through Johnny Evans, and that was chalked off for offside through Rasmus Højlund being in an offside position in front of the goalkeeper. But this one should stand, and I hope it does, because it eases quality. It oozes quality, not eases, oozes quality from Bruno Fernandes. Even though his goal was taken off him by Johnny Evans, he comes through with an assist in the centre circle, left foot, diagonal ball and behind. He goes beyond Jordan Bayer, the Burnley centre half, And Fernandes lets it come across him, and then he volleys just on the corner of the 6-yard box, across goal. No chance for Trafford. You can't stop that one from hitting the back of the net. And right on half-time, it's Burnley 0, Manchester United 1, and it is Bruno Fernandes with the goal. Van Persie-esque, you might say, as he let the ball come across his body, over the top of him, and he latches it on with a volley. It's superb from Fernandes, who gets his second goal of the season. He gets his 46th Premier League goal in his career, in his 130th appearance in the league. And United lead at Turf Moor before half-time. 3 minutes of added on time. We've played a minute and a half of it. I thought he might have just been offside as the ball was played by Jonny Evans, but I was mistaken and I was wrong. And he timed his run to perfection there, Bruno Fernandes. And it is just a quality finish. Trafford. Burnley got it in the edge of the 18-yard box with Alderweireld. Wanted to play forward, but being forced to go back here to James Trafford. The goalkeeper, who's conceded his 13th goal now in his 5th game for Burnley, yet to keep a clean sheet, and that will carry on. Dink forward by Alderweireld. Finds Koleosho on halfway. Back to Cullen. Once more to Bayer, who lost Fernandes in the box. And the Portuguese international scored. Alderweireld. Just behind the halfway line. Brownhill has drifted out to the right-hand side. He goes back himself to James Trafford in the Burnley goal, who joined Manchester City at age 12 before leaving in the summer, as the Cullen pass has been intercepted by Fernandes. And it's Casemiro who calms the play down and goes back to Lindelof. It allows Burnley to get all men behind the ball. It's now Lindelof on halfway. Out to the right to right back Dalot. Lindelof. Dalot across to Evans. Clears it up the field first time to Fernandes in behind again. I think he's offside this time, but he'll play the ball across to Højlund, who will meet it with a shot. And then the flag goes up. Had the strike there, Højlund towards the penalty spot and sent it over the crossbar. But Fernandes that time had just strayed offside. Went a little bit too early there, the United captain. And the flag goes up on that far side there. Yeah, just straying offside there, Bruno Fernandes. He wanted an assist, like against Forest. He scored and assisted against Forest. He wants to score and assist again. As we continue. Despite playing more than the 3 minutes of time added on. Koleosho on the right-hand side, driving inside, tackled by the side challenge of Hannibal. It'll be brought away now by Scott McTominay, who passes the halfway line on the United left, goes inside to Rashford, gets the return, and goes into his own half of past the Reguilon. As the referee will now blow for half-time at Turf Moor, and it has had plenty of good quality chances, and the first one came through Bruno Fernandes. 7 minutes in, it was a good save by Trafford as he went across goal. Fernandes on his left foot, and it was saved by Trafford. 3 minutes later, Onana was called into action after a cross from Connor Roberts is deflected off Evans onto the head of Amdouni, who headed towards the far post, the left corner. He headed it into the ground, and it bounced up, and it was Onana equal to it, and he was able to save. And then 7 minutes later, in the 17th minute, Burnley hit the post through Amdouni. Ramsey with a great ball through to Amdouni on the left side of the box. He hit a cross goal and hit the post. 25 minutes in, Evans put United ahead through the corner. Reguilon in swinger. Evans headed it towards goal, but Højlund was in an offside position and in front of the goalkeeper, and he was interfering with play. So that goal was chalked off for offside, unfortunately, for Jonny Evans on his 200th appearance for Manchester United. But 45 minutes into the game, right on half-time, Jonny Evans making up for that disallowed goal with an assist. A great ball in the centre circle. It was a diagonal switch from the left to the right into the box over the head of Bayer, and Fernandes let it come across his body, and as it came across him, he hit it with a right-footed volley across goal into the bottom left corner. James Trafford had no chance of stopping it. It was an unbelievable volley. As I mentioned before, it was Van Persie-esque, but that time on the right foot of Bruno Fernandes and not the left foot of the Dutchman. But at half-time, even though the big chances have gone to United, we have had a post hit by Burnley, but it's not been enough for them to get into this game level at half-time. And at half-time, it is Burnley 0, Manchester United 1. Really good finish by Bruno Fernandes. Honestly, that is just expertly taken. Like, to let it come across and hit it first time and to have the finish so controlled as well is just, it's a frightening technique, and it's a really good goal for Manchester United. And Burnley, who are without a win against United in their last 5, they've only won one of their last 15 against United in the Premier League. They might have to wait a little bit longer to try and get a win against Manchester United. It's their 17th meeting in the Premier League. The previous 16 has seen Burnley only win twice, one at home in 2009 August, their first ever Premier League game. But at the minute, at half-time, United have the advantage. Even though Burnley have had some chances themselves, Amdouni with both of them, forcing a good save from Onana and hitting the post. It's Bruno Fernandes who have put Manchester United in front at half-time. I'm going to go for half-time, and I'll be back in 15 minutes to commentate and bring you live commentary of the second half of Burnley against Manchester United. So come back in 15 minutes, and we'll see, will Manchester United hold on to the 3 points, or will Burnley mount a comeback and try and at least take a point for themselves, or maybe even 3, and get their first win of the season. We'll wait and see, but I'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half. Oh, we're back now for the second half, which we're getting underway in a couple of minutes' time. As Burnley trail Manchester United by 1-0 right on half-time. Bruno Fernandes with an unbelievable volley from a long diagonal Johnny Evans ball into the box. Burnley did have chances of their own as well, with Amdouni, with both of them early on. In the 10th minute, he forced a save out from Onana with a header from the penalty spot, and then 7 minutes later he hit the post, and then big chances kind of dried up for both sides until the disallowed goal in the 25th minute for Evans, and then the actual goal which came in the 45th minute from Bruno Fernandes. But can we get some more goals in this second half? As I mentioned before, it was 9 Premier League games ago when Burnley last won in the top flight, but it's been 10 games since they last won at home in the Premier League. It was a 1-0 win against Wolves. It was a Mateo Vidra winner in the 62nd minute, and that was on the 24th of April 2022, so that was 517 days ago. So it has been quite some time since these Burnley fans have seen a home victory in the Premier League, where when they last were in the Premier League, they finished 18th. Season before that, they survived, finishing 17th. Season before that was 10th, and their best finish came in 2017-2018 when they finished 7th and had some Europa League football to enjoy at the start of that new season. But they have been in the Premier League for 8 of the previous 10 seasons, Burnley, which is great for a club which only made their first appearance in the Premier League in 2009. Also, when they were promoted back in 2016, they won the league as well that time in the Championship. So the last 2 times they've been promoted back to the Premier League, it's through winning the Championship, top of the pile. Can they make it their 3rd Premier League win against Manchester United? They will have to come behind to do it. Vincent Kompany's men, as I mentioned before, 60th game in charge of the club, where he'd previously been manager of Anderlecht for around 90 games. And as a player against Manchester United, he actually lost more than he won, Vincent Kompany. His first ever win in a Manchester derby that he played in was the 6-1 victory at Old Trafford, which was a very famous victory for Manchester City, where the tide was starting to turn to the blue side of Manchester as he walks towards the technical area with one of his assistants, Craig Bellamy, who was also a player at Manchester City at the time where Vincent Kompany was also at the club. But only at the age of 37, Vincent Kompany already making it to the Premier League, and he did it in a way where he needed to bring success through winning the Championship, as his spot on the bench is next to Craig Bellamy and Mike Jackson, who took temporary charge the last time Burnley were in the Premier League after the sacking of Sean Dyche. As it'll be United kick off, kicking left to right, so Burnley right to left. Højlund goes back to Casemiro on the edge of the centre circle. Now McTominay goes back once more to Victor Lindelof midway inside his own half. He'll go to his left to Johnny Evans, who'll be pressed by Brownhill, so forced back to Onana in the United goal. Across once to Lindelof in the 18-yard box. He needs to clear forward, and he does do so, but it's intercepted by Charlie Taylor, the Burnley left-back. And it'll be a throw for Diogo Dalot to take, as we are back underway in this second half at Turf Moor on this Saturday night football in the Premier League. United lead. Bruno Fernandes with the goal. 2nd of the season in the league for the Portuguese man. It's Taylor. Back pass towards Al Dakhil. It's just gone to Trafford. Rashford was sniffing to try and get that through, but Al Dakhil and Trafford dealt with it in the end on the edge of their box. It's now Trafford in the 6-yard box. Plays it forward to the edge of the box to Al Dakhil. Lifted ball towards Amdouni. Header won though by Johnny Evans. Drops to Charlie Taylor at left back. It's now back to Trafford. Forward to Bayer, who will take a left back position. And Taylor will just drift inside, where Charlie Taylor did play a lot of games last season at centre back when called upon. Played left back and centre back. The English left back, who is now 30 years of age, making his 135th appearance in the Premier League, is still yet to score in the Premier League and also yet to score for Burnley. Charlie Taylor, I know he's a left back, and he's been at the club now for 6 years, and he's played for them 193 times now. Midway inside their own half, it is Al Dakhil, the Burnley centre-half, drives forward towards the halfway line. Will release the pass to the furthest player right, and that's Koleosho. Plays it inside to Roberts. Back it goes to Al Dakhil. Into Trafford. Finds Bayer. Al Dakhil again. Still inside the Burnley half as United press high. It's now James Trafford. Was on the bench for that meeting last time out in the League Cup, round of 16, where United won 2-0 last season. Trafford was on the bench, and it was Bailey Peacock-Farrell who played in goal. Currently on loan this season. Peacock-Farrell, I think, somewhere in Norway, if I'm not mistaken, which is a strange move for him, as the ball was cleared by Rashford here, and it's gone straight into the 18-yard box of Burnley to James Trafford. As Erik ten Hag walks back to his bench. 5 losses for United in their last 7 as they concede a free kick halfway inside their own half here. Casemiro committing the foul. It's been taken quickly by Burnley, and they'll work it out to the left here. And it's been dispossessed here by Tresor. And it's a throw-in on the halfway line for Manchester United. Diogo Dalot. Dalot on this near side to take the throw. Evans. Lindelof. Ball up towards Højlund. It's a long ball. It's a lifted one. Header won by Bayer. Nodded forward though by Fernandes and helped inside with the head of Hannibal to McTominay, who gets it forward and leaves it for Hannibal to challenge with Taylor, and they both go for it, and it's the last touch of Hannibal for a throw for Burnley deep inside their own half, so they've got some work to do to get the ball forward here. They go 22 games unbeaten, Burnley, in the league last season from November to April, which helped them spear forward to win the league in the Championship with 101 points. They'd win the league with a record-breaking 7 games left as well to play. Dalot keeps it in here for United on the right-hand side in the Burnley half. Fernandes forward and through to Casemiro in a right-wing position. Plays it even further forward towards Fernandes, who's tackled here by Bayer. And his clearance will go out for a United throw-in towards the corner flag. Maybe a chance for United to get a shot on goal here if they can work it from this right-hand side. For Dalot to take. He's got Casemiro short as an option, but he's going to go for a longer throw-in. Into the box towards Højlund over his head, and the header won by Brownhill. Hooked away by Taylor, along as far as Dalot, who took the throw-in. Plays it forward to Fernandes, and he's tackled here, and it's a corner. Howan for... Oh, no, throw-in. It came off the corner flag, and I thought it went off the corner flag, then out for a corner, so I thought that would have been a corner, but it's gone for a throw-in instead. Dalot has taken it to Fernandes. Tackled by Ramsey, another throw-in. Right on the corner flag here for Manchester United. Will he go for another long throw-in into the box towards Højlund? I think he will do here. Dalot throws it in towards Højlund. It's McTominay who takes the touchdown. He's shielding the ball and he pokes it towards goal. Deflects it to Hannibal on the right. Dalot, across it goes, and Højlund just misses it. He'll run right through to the left-hand side, and it'll be Rashford to keep it in. One-on-one with Connor Roberts towards the corner flag. Tries to take him on. Plays a ball, though, backwards to Reguilon, who will then cross it towards Hannibal. Header won by Al Dakhil. Well, as far as Lindelof, who nods out to the right to Dalot. Ball forward, comes off the head of Lindelof, and it'll drop to Brownhill. Counter-attack on here for Burnley. He's going to look towards the left here, Brownhill, and he'll find Aaron Ramsey. Away from Casemiro and Hannibal. And then ball forward to Tresor. Furthest left is Amdouni on the left wing position. Goes inside to the right to Cullen. Back out now to Amdouni again. Met by the pressure of Hannibal. Falls back to Taylor. And inside he goes to Bayer. Really good ball across there by Dalot, and Højlund should have got on the end of it, but he didn't in the 6-yard box, and the chance went begging. Amdouni wanting to take on Dalot, but keeps the ball simple to Taylor. Across the halfway line to Bayer. Now Alderkiel, not being pressed here by Marcus Rashford, who's holding his position for Manchester United. As the ball goes back to Trafford, who's literally about 15 yards away from the halfway line. He's very high up the field here, James Trafford. And it's Charlie Taylor from left back, midway inside the United half. Down the left-hand side it goes, towards the corner flag, to Tresor. Keeping the ball away from Evans, but he runs out of room. Throwing for Manchester United. But here's the chance again. Hannibal played it out wide to Dalot. It was a wicked and wild, and it was a very quickly played ball across the box by Dalot to Højlund, who was unmarked as well. And he threw his body at it, kicked his left foot towards it, but couldn't get contact. Casemiro volleys away. Out to the United left, where Rashford comes back to help in the left-back area to collect the ball, and he will stride forward here, Marcus Rashford. Enters the Burnley half, chops away from Koleosho, and he keeps it with a pass back to Casemiro, who joined him on the left-hand side. And now they've got it inside and across to Victor Lindelof for Manchester United, who've only finished second place twice in the last 10 seasons since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson. They've got some defending to do here as Cullen finds it on the Burnley right towards the final third. He lays it off into Koleosho, who likes to run at defenders but opts against choosing that option. And it's now in the centre circle of Jordan Bayer. He's looking towards his left, but options are minimal, so he goes to the right to Alderkiel, who will go to the furthest player on the right-hand side for Burnley. That is Koleosho, who wants to run at Reguilon, tries to, bundled off the ball, but the kick away from Reguilon only goes as far as Josh Cullen for Burnley on the halfway line. So it's back with Burnley. 4 wins in their last 10. That comes with 4 losses, conceding 17 and scoring the 14 goals. Obviously fell to a heavy defeat here to Spurs, where they conceded 5. Alderkiel, big ball forward, up towards Amdouni. Headed on by Lindelof, lost by Casemiro. And intercepted, though, by Scott McTominay on the edge of the box, but he tries to turn away from danger, and he puts him in more danger. Drops to Koleosho, first shot blocked, drops back towards him. Ball kept by Burnley. Taylor, out to the left to Tresor. Takes it the outside route and tries the cross. It's blocked by Lindelof and cleared. Only as far as Alderkiel, who will bring it down for Burnley on halfway, and goes back to Trafford. Bayer keeps the ball moving with Trafford again, just inside the Burnley half. Trafford zips it out to the left back Taylor, crosses the halfway line, trying to play ball forward. He goes out to the left to Tresor, who tries to get beyond Dalot, but the touch is heavy, and it's won by the Portuguese, who tries to play a ball towards the centre circle and the centre spot, but it's cut out by Roberts, loses it very cheaply there for Manchester United. It's now Koleosho, try to drive on the inside, overruns it, and then he fouls Casemiro. Free kick for Manchester United, conceded by the Italian under-20 international, Luca Koleosho, who was signed from Espanyol, and he played 4 times in La Liga last season, and he scored once on the last day of the season against Almeria. Yeah, just overruns the ball and then goes through Casemiro as he tries to win it back. Free kick for the Red Devils. Ten minutes played of the second half, and Burnley are still playing quite well. Lindelof, halfway inside his own half, goes across to Johnny Evans at 35, starting for United in the Premier League as Onana switches out to the right to Dalot, heads it forward, cut out by Aaron Ramsey. And he overruns it with a heavy touch after being pressured from Bruno Fernandes, and it'll be a throw-in for United midway inside their own half. And I think Reguilon has been booked as Koleosho fouled Casemiro just a minute ago. Reguilon asked the referee to give a yellow card, and you can no longer do that. So instead of Koleosho being booked, I think it was Reguilon who got in the book instead for asking for a yellow. It's Rashford, jumps for it, heads it forward to Hannibal. Chests it down towards Rashford, but he made a run elsewhere, so the ball is lost from United in the Burnley half, and Koleosho brings it away down the right-hand side. Charging into the United half. He's now met by Reguilon, who's come towards him from left-back. So he plays the ball just behind him to Roberts. Back forward to Koleosho. In the final third, he's going to go on the outside towards the byline, tries the cross, it deflects off Reguilon for a corner. Reguilon wanted the goal kick. He thought it'd come off Koleosho last, but the linesman doesn't give it. The assistant referee gives the corner instead. We've already had a corner put in the back of the net from this end through Johnny Evans in the 25th minute, but that was disallowed, and it should have been a goal kick. I mean, how the linesman hasn't seen the fact that that's a goal kick, I do not know. Koleosho crossed it, came off Reguilon, and then back off of Koleosho. Should have been a goal kick from the corner. We've got it with Brownhill towards the edge of the box. It just about reaches Aaron Ramsey. Back out to the far right to Brownhill. Low cross in, cleared away by Højlund in the 18-yard box. And it will fall to Ramsey on halfway, who regains the ball for Burnley and sends it out to the left now to Roberts, who is usually right back, finds himself at left back at the minute. After Burnley still not quite in their set positions from the corner kick. Ball forward to Ramsey. 1-2 attempt with Tresor, but they lose it and Lindelof clears. Can't find Højlund though, and it's back in Burnley possession. And it's something that Burnley have had a lot of. 60% of it so far, Burnley. As they go for an over-the-top ball down the left channel, looking for Mike Tresor. Overhit though, and it'll be a throw-in for Diogo Dalot to take. Manchester United have only lost one of their last 24 Premier League games against promoted teams, winning 17 and drawing 6. Their last loss to a promoted side was against Watford away in November of 2021, Solskjaer's last game, where Maguire was sent off. They've now won 8 in a row against promoted sides, and they want to make it 9 in a row, and they're on the way to doing that at the minute. Trafford has it for Burnley in their 18-yard box. Alderkeel. Trafford again. Dinked ball out to the left to Taylor, brings it down nicely, plays it inside towards Ramsey. Tackled by Lindelof fairly, and it's won by McTominay. Ball forward to Højlund, 30 yards away from goal. Shifts it out to the left to Fernandes. Early crossing towards Rashford, heads it down towards Højlund. It's a great interception and a tackle from Alderkeel, and it'll go for a corner. Seemed like a certain goal there for Manchester United. Great ball in from Fernandes. It was a good header down by Rashford towards Højlund. And as he was about to kick it towards goal in the 6-yard box, it was took away from him by Alderkeel, who just kicked it away. And behind for a corner. Literally, it was ready for Højlund to finish. But it was really well done there from Alderkeel. Fernandes, in-swinger. The 6-yard box is swamped with players, and Trafford gets the touch away to the opposite side where Hannibal can recycle the ball in the box. It's a deep one towards the far post, and it's well caught by Trafford. He tries to look for the quick counter-attack, but there's no options on there for him. So he'll hold the ball and wait for his players to get back in position. As they bring it out from the back with Jordan Bayer. Half an hour to go. Trafford. With Bayer. Back to Trafford again. Manchester United are very happy for Burnley to have the ball, as their next game is in midweek. Burnley, they go to Salford away. Oh, Scott McTominay, big challenge, but it's a fair one, and it drops out to the right, and it's a storming run. Tresor, who's gone from the left wing to the right wing, crosses it into the box. It's well caught by Onana, who will roll it out quickly to Casemiro. Plays it forward to Marcus Rashford. Out to the right to Hannibal. Crosses the halfway line. Goes back inside to Casemiro. First time swinging ball out to the left. And he finds Fernandes. What a ball that is. Finds himself just outside the box. Currently Fernandes on the left-hand side. Waiting for extra support. And he finds it through Reguilon. Fernandes. Back to the halfway line as Burnley get plays back. As United tried the counter-attack. But didn't quite materialise. Casemiro. Out to Evans at left centre-back. Rashford's dropped deeper for the ball to link up play with Reguilon. Now back to McTominay into Lindelof. Who play it out to the right to Hannibal. Back it goes to Lindelof. He's got everyone in front of him. All Burnley players setting up to defend. Dalot. Early cross towards Højlund. It's cut out by Bayer and caught by Trafford. Went for an earlier cross there, Dalot, and it nearly worked, but he was well cut out by Bayer. Midway inside their own half is Al Dakiel, the Belgium defender, who didn't lose in the Championship last season when he joined in January. Played 8 times in the second tier and he won 4 and drew 4. He's yet to score for his new club. Trafford on the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes to Bayer. Out to left back Taylor. Touch forward. He looks forward. He plays a ball forward over the top of the United defence, but no Burnley players chasing it. And it will dribble right through to Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. Got to remember, after 2 games last season, United were rock bottom after their defeats to Brighton and Brentford. They're now currently 13th before any play today, but they'll go up to 8th for now if they win and they hold on this win. It will be a 50% record, 3 wins, 3 losses to start the season if it stays the same. For Erik Ten Hag, as Onana clears long up towards Fernandes, he does win the header inside, but straight into the centre circle to Jordan Bayer, who is not being pressed at all, and he dribbles it forward, tries to find a ball out to the left, intercepted by Casemiro, falls to Rashford, pokes it through to Højlund, who's drifted out to the right-hand side. He gets there ahead of Al Dakiel. Keeps holding it up, Højlund then backheels it in behind for Dalot, who will get there. Can he cross it? He's on the byline. He lifts it towards the far post over the head of Fernandes. It will drop to Reguilon. Edge of the box to McTominay, who shoots with his weaker left foot, and you could tell it was a weaker left foot because it was a shot with no power. And it's saved by Trafford. Really good play though, hold-up play from Højlund, who backheeled it into the path of Dalot. And on the byline, he just about kept it in and dinked it to the far post where Fernandes couldn't get up high enough, and then it fell in the end to McTominay on the edge, and his shot was poor. And it allows Burnley to have possession again. And they'll build from the back. They're very patient in their play, Burnley. Very patient, even though they are new to the Premier League. Al Dakiel. Trafford having to hurry his clearance. Good Højlund presses. And out it goes for a throw for United. Halfway inside the Burnley half. So they've already gained some ground already. But Manchester United just threw some good pressing. Thrown back though by Reguilon to Lindelof on halfway. Plays it forward to Casemiro. Into Evans, who's in the left back area currently with a left-footed ball down the left channel towards Hannibal. Loses out the header to Al Dakiel and he heads it out for a Manchester United throw-in again. Reguilon throws it back again to Evans, this time towards the halfway line. He goes across to Victor Lindelof. Finds right back Dalot. Still has it and goes across. Still in the United half with Johnny Evans. Now Rashford, first time ball down the line for Reguilon, and he will get there and he'll cross it first time to the edge of the box to Rashford on the right hand side. Plays it through into the box looking for Rasmus Højlund, but he'll be seen off by Charlie Taylor and he commits a foul. Not quite had the rub of the green so far this season, Marcus Rashford. Only the 1 goal, and that came to Arsenal away, which gave them the lead. But he's just not quite been at the races. He scored 17 goals last season, and he's looking for his 125th United goal. Ball down the right-hand side for Tressor. Cross at the near post. Shocking cross from Mike Tressor, the Burnley winger, who's found himself on the right-hand side. Straight into the hands of Onana. Who will hold it for a moment to allow United to get into position, to build an attack from the back. And he'll roll it out to Lindelof, the right centre-back. Lindelof runs across the 18-yard box and plays it into Johnny Evans. He finds McTominay, who's filling in at right centre-back, and he lays it off into Onana in between the two posts there. And he clears it up the field. Can't find Højlund on halfway, chested down by Bayer towards Cullen, who keeps it alive, and he finds Tresor on the right. Uses it right back, Roberts on halfway to keep the ball. It's now Al Dakil inside his own half. 15-yard pass to his left to find Bayer, the centre-back partner. It's now to the furthest left now, Burnley with Koleosho, who's dropping deeper for the ball. Tresor. The right wingers and the left wingers are dropping deeper, but he lays it off to Cullen, ball round the corner, and he finds Roberts, the right back, has got forward. He plays it across, and Lindelof volleys it over the bar and out for a corner. No flag as well. I was waiting for the flag to go up there. Great play though. Tresor just slowing the game down. Then all of a sudden Cullen had sent it over the top and in behind, and Connor Roberts was well onside as he entered the box on the right hand side, and he put a ball across the 6-yard box, and it had to be dealt with by Victor Lindelof. Going to be an outswinger from Mike Tresor, who came on early in the first half for an injured Goodmanson. Tresor, near post, header won by Fernandez, straight to the edge of the box though to Ramsey, so Burnley can continue to build an attack where they need to try and be more dangerous. They've not been good enough this second half at all going forward. Ramsey goes back to Roberts on halfway, and once more to Trafford. United can push up the field. And Burnley are struggling. I don't want to say they're going to go down because they're only playing their 5th game because they missed one due to not being able to play Luton away earlier on in the season because Luton's ground wasn't finished. 5 games in, it's just worrying signs. I mean, it was a good point away at Forest because Forest are very strong at home in the Premier League, but they need to pick up this first win pretty soon. I know United's a big ask because despite United not being consistent on the pitch themselves, they've still got good quality players on the field, which was shown through the Fernandez goal because that finish was unbelievable. But they need to try and show something, Burnley. They've got good young players, but maybe too young for the Premier League, I think. As Fernandez has it on the halfway on the United left, drives on the inside, plays a ball lifted over the top looking for Rashford. It's a chest down by Taylor, but it drops to Højlund, who will keep possession and he will let Rashford take over. Dalot bombing forward on the right, opts not to use it firstly, and then they eventually uses it. And then Dalot goes back to Casemiro, crosses a ball in towards Højlund, it avoids him and it avoids Fernandez, and it'll roll for a goal kick for Burnley. Not a bad ball there from Casemiro, scoring a brace in midweek at Bayern Munich, the Brazilian. Scoring his 3rd goal of the season, because he did also get the equaliser against Nottingham Forest at home. Great comment, cheers. The next commentary, I'll let you know in a minute, because Casemiro has just intercepted a long ball forward by Burnley. It's now Rashford on the edge, who lets fly, comes off the backside of Bayer, and it falls to Lindelof, who'll keep it alive for United. Casemiro in a right wing position, and he's 1-2 with Lindelof. Great play from Casemiro. You play inside to Rashford, back to Lindelof, who's still forward from his defensive position. It's now Evans, who goes across to the left to McTominay. Back out to Evans again, just in front of the halfway line. He will dribble further forward here. Evans, who's having a solid game at centre-back. It's now Dalot, everything to his left in the final third. Links up with Rashford. And he plays down the line for Rashford. He keeps it in, and then he is tackled there by Aaron Ramsey, the new signing for Burnley from Aston Villa. Dalot, and he throws back to Lindelof towards the halfway line. The next commentary on the channel will be Rochdale against Chesterfield in the National League. That's on Tuesday, as the ball forward for Manchester United goes towards the 18-yard box and it's collected by Trafford. So yeah, next one will be Rochdale Chesterfield on Tuesday. And then at the weekend, next weekend, it'll be Blackburn Leicester in the Championship. And then in the midweek after that, it'll be Newcastle PSG. And then there will be a 2-week break from commentaries as I'm away. And the next one after that, after my week away and the international break, will be AC Milan Juventus in Serie A on the 22nd. So the next couple is Rochdale Chesterfield on Tuesday. Next weekend, Blackburn Leicester. And then in the midweek after that will be Newcastle PSG. As Burnley have it, with Brownhill on halfway, back all the way to his own goalkeeper, Trafford, because the pass was misplaced. It's not quite ticking for Burnley the second half. They were much better in the first half, I thought. And I know it's the Championship, but they only lost one at home last season in the league. In the Championship, now they've set to lose their first 4 home games of the season in the league. Yes, to very good opposition, but they need to be picking up points soon as Tresor looks for a ball towards the edge of the box. It's headed away by Lindelof from Ramsey. Fernandez loses out. Amdouni. Ball towards Tresor in the box, but it's well cut out by McTominay. Quick ball forward on the halfway to Rashford. Out to the left towards Hannibal, who can't quite reach it. Well dealt with by Burnley as they play from the back with Al-Dakil. Got there in the end. Now Trafford in his 18-yard box. Bayer out to right back, or in the right back area to Al-Dakil. Cullen forward now to the right back. Roberts, who's got a bit of space to run into here. He'll play it forward to the halfway line to Brownhill. Tackled strongly by Casemiro, but he's worked it out wide to the left to Taylor. So Burnley will keep building. Keep building, not building. Building. And it's Ramsey, still towards the halfway line. They're still deep. They're still away from the goal. But Ramsey's turn away from Lindelof is penalised. He started to pull the shirt of Ramsey there, Lindelof, hence why the free kick's been given on the Burnley left. Tony Harrington, the referee tonight, formerly a PE teacher. But I feel like all referees probably were former PE teachers. I don't know, I just get that feeling that referees are usually also still in football in some way or in sport. And Tony Harrington was former PE teacher. As Burnley are going to go for a change of 3. Number 34. Right, let's get the changes here. So, Jacob Brune Larsen, the left winger on loan from Hoffenheim, will be coming on. And he'll be replacing Amdouni. That's one change of the 3. Still waiting for the other changes here. As Koleosho will be coming off for Jay Rodriguez. And Aaron Ramsey is also coming off on his first start for Burnley in the Premier League. And he'll be replaced by Sander Berger. So 3 changes. Rodriguez, Berger, and Larsen on. And Ramsey, Koleosho, and Amdouni off. So 3 changes in the attacking area for Burnley as they look to try and change this game and get a goal. Company rolling the dice as the ball goes into the Burnley box, headed away by Johnny Evans. It's kept alive by Cullen for Burnley. Furthest left now is Tresor. He's come back out to the left wing position. Pass to the right to Bayer. Al-Dakil. Bayer again. Out to the left to Taylor. In the left back area. Forward to Tresor. And then back to Taylor. Rochdale, Chesterfield, well, I love that. You just don't do the big team. No, try to cover all leagues possible. Try and get as many people in the streams. Because if you keep doing the Premier League games and the teams you've already covered, then less new people will find the channel. So, got to keep refreshing it. Keep doing as many different teams as possible. So, National League on Tuesday night. Taylor at left back. Midway inside the United half. 16 minutes to go. Cullen. Forward to Brownhill, back towards goal, but he's been pulled back by Casemiro. Free kick for Burnley. Taken short to Cullen. Can't deny Burnley have not tried to play football as Al-Dakil. Ball in behind, brought down by Larsen, met by Onana, still alive for Rodriguez. Both him and Evans miss it. And Onana ends up on the ball. Evans is holding his head. He might have hit his head on the turf as he fell. Really good ball in behind there by Al-Dakil. Looking for Jacob Brune Larsen. But Onana came and got it. But Evans has been hurt in the process. As Onana got there first, he spilt it, so it allowed Rodriguez to chase it for Burnley. And he was followed by Evans. Great ball in behind. Just onside Larsen as well. Great ball from Al-Dakil. His touch was poor. Onana got there first time and then he collected the second time. But I think as Rodriguez and Evans went for it, there must have been a bang on the head for Evans. That's why he's down at the minute. 15 minutes to go, pulsated on time. Still, United lead 1-0 through Bruno Fernandes. If Evans can't continue, Manchester United do have a returning Rafael Varane on the bench, who was subbed off at half-time against Forest in game week 3. And he's been out ever since. Hopefully Evans is okay. Reguilon was also on the deck. He's back on his feet. The United loanee left back. Let's have a look. Onana got there first. The ball was alive. Evans and Rodriguez went for it. Both missed it and Onana collected. Can't quite see how Evans has picked up his injury. I'm not saying he hasn't got the injury. I just can't quite see from the angles where he bumped his head. But I think he did just collide with something on the way down. But he's back on his feet and he's back on the pitch. And Onana sent it long towards Hannibal, who is tackled by Brownhill. He's now dropped to Cullen in the Burnley half. Out to the right now to Larson. Has to restart and go back. They're going backwards a lot, Burnley. Connor Roberts is telling his team to get forward as he plays it across his back line to Jordan Bayer. Furthest left is Tressor, but he goes to the right instead to Cullen in the centre circle. In the United half now. It's now Roberts. Forward to Jay Rodriguez, the 34-year-old striker. Tries to play the ball through to Sander Berger. It nearly drops towards him. Evans has to clean up at the back. He shoved off the ball and no way, that's a free kick. The ball had dropped to Evans and he tried to dribble his way out of danger in the box and he was just given a little shoulder barge by Larson and he went down very easily and the linesman bought it. The linesman was the one who gave the free kick and he was the one who told the referee to give it and he did just that. Definitely not a free kick for me. Shoved down way too easily there, Johnny Evans. Unlucky there from Jacob Bruno Larson, who's made a good impact since coming on, causing a bit of danger for United's defence. As United have lost the ball straight away from the free kick. Ball forward and Burnley have won it back. And they're on the edge of the 18-yard box to Alderkiel. Still alive here for Burnley. Still a chance. It's only 1-0. Alderkiel, big switch out towards the left-hand side. It's had to be headed behind by Dallo for a throw-in for Burnley towards the final third here as they push forward, looking for this goal. Cullen inside. Reguilon's gone down again. He's injured, but Burnley continue. Larson, ball across the 6-yard box. It's gone all the way through and behind by Dallo. But where are the Burnley players attacking that ball? Fantastic ball across from Larson, who has really done well since coming on, the loanee from Hoffenheim. Spent the first half of this year in 2023, Larson, out with a groin injury. And he's starting to play football again. He's come off the bench the last 3 for Burnley before the Forest game. And it looks like Varane is going to have to come on. But it's not Evans coming off, it's Sergio Reguilon. And he is injured, and for United's sake, it's hopefully not a serious one. Hopefully it'll be okay to continue in their upcoming games, United, where they've got to play Palace in the League Cup and they've got Galatasaray as well in the Champions League coming up. In swinger from Tressor, far post, header won by Evans, straight to the edge of the box to Cullen. And he'll play it forward and out wide to the right to centre-back Alderkiel. Sander Berger towards the corner flag, keeping the ball away from Casemiro. And going backwards to Cullen. And across to Roberts, who's centre of the field here. Goes back out to the right to Cullen on halfway. He goes back once more to Trafford in the Burnley goal. Burnley go back a lot. They really do. They don't like to lose the ball. It's company's philosophy, possession play, keeping the ball. But sometimes it is very negative. They're so scared to play forward. They're always going back. There's Bayer at centre-back. Everything in front of him. All United plays behind the ball. As he plays it to his right to Alderkiel. It's now Larson. Ball inside towards Jay Rodriguez. Misplaced ball. Won back by Evans. It's now Hannibal. Lays it off to Evans again. Ball forward to Højlund. Fernandes is away on the right. Højlund is playing it to the left instead to Rashford. It's a short ball. Well tackled by Alderkiel. And Burnley can bring it forward with Roberts, who's tripped from behind by Rashford. And it is a free kick for Burnley. And Roberts there is giving a bit of wording there from Hannibal. Hannibal was the one who fouled Roberts, and then Hannibal went down thinking he'd been kicked by Roberts, but he wasn't, and then Roberts just gave him a piece of his mind. The option there from Højlund should have been to Fernandes on the right to try and get him his brace. Instead, he played a short ball to the left to Rashford, and they lost it, and eventually it was a free kick given to Burnley as Hannibal and Rashford tried to win it back. Oh, it's got to be to the right to Fernandes. It's got to be. Instead, he went to the left, and United lost possession and conceded a free kick. And it's now in the United half. Sander Berger's pulled out to the right-hand side here. Rashford will chase him. He will keep him company here, Rashford, as Sander Berger keeps going forward towards the corner flag. He stops and plays it back to Larson. Good play from Sander Berger, the new summer signing from Sheffield United. one of the teams promoted with Burnley from the Championship, is now in the centre of the park, now with Bayer. Goes to his right to Al-Dakhil. 9 minutes to go. Not enough big chances made for Burnley. The ball's been played forward here to Berger. Back to Cullen. Needs to look forward here, Cullen. And he does out wide left to Tresor. He's got Taylor overlapping him. And he'll feed it to the left back who gets a cross in. And it's deflected behind by McTominay. It's a corner kick for Burnley. Burnley have had more possession and more shots. And they've had the same on target, 3 each. But no chances this second half. There's been absolutely nothing. Especially for Burnley. United have got forward a couple of times, but it's lacked quality this second half. In swinger from the captain, Brownhill. In the 6-yard box, the header's won and put over the crossbar. Sander Berger, the Norwegian central midfielder, who does stand at 6'5", he's a tall player. And in the 6-yard box, he won the header, and it came off his head, then onto his shoulder, and then it looped over the crossbar. Didn't connect with it properly with his head there, Berger. And behind it went for a goal kick for Manchester United, who are holding on to these 3 points at the minute. Onana out to the left of Fernandes. Ball inside behind Højlund. It's picked up by Cullen in the Burnley half. And he's back in possession of Company's men. Cullen playing in a deeper playmaking role from the midfield, sitting in between the two centre-backs at times. As Bayer goes across to Al-Dakhil, the number 28 for Burnley. Still just inside his own half. Goes across again to Bayer. They are very patient, Burnley. You've got to give him that. Very patient. They don't force anything, usually. They've been forced all the way back to their goalkeeper just by a simple press from Højlund. No options for them ahead. United are cutting out all the lanes possible for Burnley to build. Berger on the right. Still on the halfway line. Across to Cullen. It's like a broken record this second half. Berger receives it on the right again, midway inside the United half. Tries to find a ball inside towards Roberts, cut out by McTominay. Forward to Hannibal, who does lose out to Berger. Heavy touch from Hannibal, and the ball forward to Brownhill. It's gone back to Roberts. Forward to Berger as Burnley build on the right-hand side. Here's Larson. Inside to Roberts, lays it off into Berger. It's now Cullen again, 30 yards away from goal. Tries to chip a ball around the corner. Finds Rodriguez in the box from the tight angle. He tries to shoot. It's blocked by Varane. And I think a corner's been given. It has. Rodriguez seen as onside. Let's have a look. Yep, Dallo not pushing up. Kept Rodriguez onside. He let the ball come around him. And as he struck, he was met by a Varane who was waiting to block the ball. And he did just that. Didn't quite connect with it either, Rodriguez, even if Varane wasn't there. But they win a corner. Outswinger from Tresor. Arm raised. Right arm raised. Outswinger. Deeper one towards Charlie Taylor. Header won by Varane. Back to where it came from. But it's Fernandes to help it away from Tresor. And it's a header forward by Roberts. Tresor goes behind Al-Dakhil. And United are on the counter. Fernandes, ball forward down the left channel for Rashford. He's one-on-one with Bayer. Goes on the inside with his right foot. He works the shots. Good block there by Josh Cullen. And with 5.5 minutes to go, United still 1 up. It was actually Hannibal with the outside of the boot, ball down the left channel for Rashford. And he got onto it. He was forced on the inside there by Bayer. And as he struck, it was blocked by Cullen. And away for a corner. It's going to be an in-swinger here from Bruno Fernandes. A lot of Burnley players are in the 6-yard box here. In it goes towards Casemiro, who loses out to Jay Rodriguez. Ball still live in the 18-yard box. Header forward by McTominay, helped away by Bayer. And then volleyed away by Brownhill. To Dallo on halfway. At right back for United. Out wide right to Hannibal. Lifted ball down the line. It will find McTominay just on the edge of the box. Can he work across? He does work across right the way through. Avoids everyone in a white shirt for United. It will run through for a throw for Burnley. Bruno Fernandes applauding the cross where he wasn't there to meet it. The idea was right, but there was no players there to get on the end of it. Just over 4 minutes to play. Change for Burnley. It's their final one they can make. Josh Brownhill, the captain, comes off and he's replaced by Manuel Benson, also Belgian. Signed a new contract in August till 2027. He scored 12 goals in the Championship last season. Manuel Benson, he got 4 in his last 4 that he played. Only making his 3rd appearance. He got 16 minutes against Manchester City, then got 45 from the start against Aston Villa, but he's not got any minutes since the second game Burnley's played. Can he make a difference now with not long to go? Hannibal on the left wing for Manchester United. Goes inside with the ball to Fernandes. Gets it forward to Højlund. Can't find Casemiro, who got forward. It's cut out by Tresor. And Burnley need to get forward now, quickly. Taylor. Lays it off into Cullen. Still inside the Burnley half. Burnley slow the game down. Cullen. All United players behind the ball. Defending resolutely. Not allowing Burnley to have any chances. Tresor in the centre circle, drifting in from the left into the centre of the field. Apologies, dropped the mic, sorry. Cullen sat in between the 2 centre-backs, trying to make something work. But United are just not allowing anything. They have shut up shop really well. Bayer, driving forward for some centre-back. Ball inside towards Rodriguez. He misses it, but it goes through to Berger. Finds it to the left of Taylor. No one's really in the box of Burnley except Tresor, who it misses. And he goes right through to Benson. Goes to the edge of the box to Larson. Through to Berger, who's onside. The linesman keeps his flag down. Benson, who likes to get onto his left foot from the right-hand side. Plays a simple back pass to Cullen. Back to Benson. Onto his left foot. Edge of the box. Can't shoot. Oh, he will shoot, and that's why he probably shouldn't have shot. Wild, wide, high, nowhere near the goal, and it's a goal kick for Manchester United. Pull there from Manuel Benson, who's just come off the bench. And United are going to see a debut for Sofian Amrabat, joined on loan for £8.5 million from Fiorentina. He's got an option of £21.4 million as a buy option at the end of this season, and he's going to replace Johnny Evans here, who scored in the 25th minute. It was disallowed due to Højlund being in an offside position and in front of the goalkeeper. But he came back with an assist for Bruno Fernandes' goal. So Evans is off, getting an assist on his 200th appearance for the club. And he'll be replaced here by Sofian Amrabat. So the 2 centre-backs will stay for United, Lindelof and Varane. But they'll have 2 holding midfielders in Amrabat and Casemiro. This will back in play at Burnley in their left-back role. In their left-back area towards the corner flag with Charlie Taylor. Down the line it goes. It will be met here by Larson, who will take on Dalot. Great skill from the left winger. And he needs to try and find the next pass. That's not available for him until he sees a switch on. And he'll play the switch. What a ball to Sander Berger. Burnley will attack from their right-hand side. Manuel Benson in the final third. We'll play back to Berger. To the left to Cullen. Back to Berger again. Now Benson, everything to his left. Try to take on Amrabat, who's in the left wing, in a left-back position for United. Benson with the ball in, met by Varane. Casemiro will help it forward towards Højlund, midway inside his own half. He gets it forward to Hannibal, and then gets the ball out left to Fernandes. Can United kill the game here on the counter? 30 seconds of the 90 to play. Fernandes still charging forward. He's entered the final third, edge of the box. He wants to pull the trigger. He'll go for a reverse pass to Højlund instead, and his shot is blocked by Bayer. And it stays at 1-0. Could have killed it there, Højlund. But in fairness, the block was good. Fernandes with a nice reverse pass to Højlund, and around 8 yards out on the angle he tried to shoot. Well, he did shoot, but it was blocked for a corner. We've hit the 90th minute now. Fernandes is taking the corner. It'll be an in-swinger if he takes it into the box. Rashford's also gone short. He will put a ball in towards Hannibal. Free header back into the box towards Varane. Volleyed away by Roberts. Burnley will push up the pitch as it will fall to Casemiro on halfway. He was last back for United. He recycles it in the box towards Fernandes, and it has to be headed behind by Connor Roberts. He was sure that Fernandes was offside, but it's not been given. The corner's been given instead, and Fernandes was well offside. I think, was he just? He might have just been kept onside by Charlie Taylor, but I'm not sure as
Rashford's got it short from the corner. Back into Fernandes again. Forward to Højlund. Back heel to Fernandes in the box. It's cut out by Larsson. Benson in a right-back position needs to clear. He doesn't. He loses it to Rashford. Who's tackled by Benson. Throwing for United. Deep in the Burnley half. It's where they want the ball. 4 minutes have added on time. We've played 1 minute and 15 of it. Lindelof now has it from the throw-in. Back to Varane on halfway. He's going to go to right-back Dalot. He's going to look forward. And he goes back to Varane instead. Amrabat's come on and he's playing left back at the minute. Sofian Amrabat, United's new number 4, as Onana clears long up towards Højlund. Loses out to Alderkiel. Cullen can't quite get to the Sanderberger pass. It's won by Hannibal. He shifts it out to the right to Dalot. He's got forward from right back in the final third. He wants to cross. He will cross towards the far post. Fernandes with the volley, and it's had to be tipped away by Trafford. And it falls to left back Taylor. He needs to get the ball forward. He does do eventually with 2 minutes to go. And it'll just drop straight to the feet of Varane. And Burnley, very, very simply, have not been good enough at all. United haven't been great as well, hence why they've only scored 1 goal. But Burnley are just not quite clicking at the minute. Onana, long ball forward towards Højlund in the Burnley half. Header won by Bayer. Hannibal challenges and wins the ball and gets away from Bayer and he's pulled behind and back. And Bayer will be booked. Hannibal did well there to win the ball off Tresor. And then as he was met with the challenge of Bayer, gave him a little hug, pulled him down from behind. And concedes the free kick there, Bayer. Got decent 90 minutes of football here for Hannibal Mejbri, who spent last season on loan at Birmingham in the Championship. Also got 10 minutes of World Cup action for Tunisia against Denmark in the group stages, despite playing for France at youth level. Played 3 of the 4 minutes. You wouldn't think Burnley need a goal. Onana clears it up the field. It'll fall to Alderkiel. And he'll lay it across to centre-back Jordan Bayer. What a shock. And he'll drive forward, still in the Burnley half. United are dropping back into their own half to defend now. As it's out to Benson. Dribbling away from Amrabat on halfway. Playing it back to Alderkiel. And across to Jordan Bayer on halfway. Burnley need a goal. And they can't get out of their own half. This is really painful to watch. As you go to the far right now. Here with Larsson. Again, just no options for him. Does go inside though to Bayer. Back out now to Berger. The options are arising. Benson in the right wing area in the final third. 1-on-1 with Amrabat. He's brought down by the Moroccan. And it's one last chance for Burnley. On the right side of the box, so it's a great angle for a cross. He tried to go around the outside of Amrabat towards the byline and he was tripped by the Moroccan. And this is it for Burnley. Last chance. We've played the 4 minutes. This will go in the box. And if it's cleared, or if it's put in the back of the net, whatever happens, once it's gone, this game is over. Trafford's up there to try and cause some extra havoc for Manchester United as they try and see out their 3rd league victory. It's played short. Benson in the box. Left-footed shot straight down the throat of Andre Onana. It's a shocking attempt. And I think that'll be that. And it is. The referee blows the full-time whistle. In a second half that lacked quality, United's goal just before the end of the first half is give them the 3 points. The first half did have chances. You wouldn't think it, but it did. The first half had plenty of chances. The first one came 7 minutes in through Bruno Fernandes, who had a shot across goal towards the far right corner. But it was saved by Trafford. 3 minutes later, Burnley had their first chance. It was Amdouni with a shot towards the bottom right corner, and he hit the post actually for Burnley, unfortunately. 10 minutes later, after his shot was saved by Onana, his first header 10 minutes in. Then 25 minutes after we started, Evans got the ball in the net from a corner in the 6-yard box, but his header was ruled out after Højlund was seen as in an offside position in front of the goalkeeper. And then right before half-time, the only real moment of quality for the rest of the game was Bruno Fernandes. It was a big ball forward by Evans, diagonal ball into the box, and Fernandes let it come across his body, and he volleyed first time into the bottom left corner. No chance for James Trafford to save it, and it's a great Really good goal for Fernandes, adding to his catalogue of many goals he scored for Manchester United, and that is 66th for the club, and it is his 46th in the Premier League. And then in the second half, I seriously cannot recall any big chances for either side. It really lacked chances. If anyone was going to score, if anyone looked like scoring, it was Manchester United. Burnley couldn't create a single thing, playing it across their back line, going across from one side to the other. They couldn't find ways into their midfield, and they slumped to the bottom of the league on goal difference with 1 point. Superb commentary, mate. Cheers. Thank you very much. But that's going to be the end of the commentary. Thank you for everyone who's joined and who's tuned in. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. Next commentary is on Tuesday night. Rochdale welcoming Chesterfield in the National League. Make sure you're there for that one. Some fifth tier English football commentary for you. Rochdale against Chesterfield. But for tonight at Turf Moor, it ends Burnley 0, Manchester United 1. It's a Bruno Fernandes masterpiece on half-time to give United the 3 points. A 1-0 victory is all it is, but it's more than that. It's 3 points. It's points on the board. They're up to 8th place. Burnley sit at the bottom. They need to improve, but United, even though they've got drama off the pitch and they've got concerns on it, they come away from Turf Moor with 3 points.